I'll say this. Number one, I don't know if that was an attempt to check me, but it'll never work.
Shut up. No one's trying to check
That'll
you.
never happen.
Me.
Number two,
Respect me.
I don't
Look at
I don't
Andrea.
like
Let
that
him.
movement, so we're gonna
Andrea, let
pass
him.
right over that.
No,
Number
respect
two,
me. Don't call me a
what was
buffoon.
said,
Be
and I'm
respectful. We
addressing
can
this
both
to
do
the
that.
panel, what was said was buffoonery and
You know what? I don't
tomfoolery,
got time for
and I was speaking directly about the comments.
So in today's video, we're going to watch an angry feminist do what an angry feminist does best: be angry. We're also going to watch a young man stand completely on business. Let's get active on this one, team. Without further ado.
And so right now we're talking about
And then I fell asleep, and then the guy came and rescued me and kissed me, and I woke up from my beautiful princess dream. I get it. We've all grown up on Disney. I understand. But it is also okay to make sure the relationship works for you and you see him being your husband as well. It's okay to not want to just look at a guy and be like, oh, wow, like, I can't wait to be tethered to him and not know what he's about. He's just doing whatever they say that he should be doing in the books. No, like, are you genuinely happy, or are you just there because people are telling you you should be there as a woman and that's your duty or that's what you're supposed to do?
Pay attention.
Well, why is it bad that someone would want to support their spouse or their partner? Like I clarified, when you're in a marriage, it's a partnership, it's a unionship. What I'm lacking, he will make up for, and what he's lacking, I will as well. It's not a factor of being a slave. It's a factor of that is the person that I choose to be with for the rest of my life. And whatever it takes for us to be happy, we should both be in agreement that we will do what it takes for us both to be happy. But happiness is found within yourself. It's not found within somebody else. So if you are leaving relationships because you are solely not happy, then you have to, and you're constantly in this back-to-back spat of like, every time I'm not happy in a relationship, I'm going to leave. Then at one point, are we going to reflect on ourselves? Is it me? Like, what can I do to make myself happy? Because my happiness is not determined on what my partner is. I created that happiness for myself, and anything we have together, it just elevates. Not every time are we going to be happy in relationships, but are you going to go through the mud with me, through the thick and thin with me, and regroup that or make that come back? Can we make that happen? That should be just as important, correct?
What the two young ladies are talking about is leading to why so many modern relationships today are becoming absolutely disastrous, while single motherhood is up on the rise each and every year. Much of it stems from the sole source or the belief that your significant other is supposed to be making you happy. It's supposed to be your trigger point for all happiness, that the belief that the man is supposed to be your sole point of happiness. And how dare you do anything not to make me happy? And if I'm not happy, then there must be something wrong with you. I refer to this as the happiness paradox, where if you directly pursue happiness, and if it's pursuit of happiness through someone else, that would inevitably lead you less happy than if you focused on the indirect contributors to happiness, focusing on your goals, figuring out your purpose, getting therapy for whatever trauma that has inflicted you within your childhood or just in your life in general, building healthy community and relationships. This is why I'm still a proponent of therapy, because so many people are looking for the short-term replacement for happiness, whether it be posting up to TikTok for gratification through the algorithm, through likes, or relying within the happiness of a man, not realizing how selfish that actually is. And many of these young women today have been taught anything but self-reflection, or they've been taught that if you're not happy, then to leave. Why do y'all think that the divorce rate or the divorce initiation rate is so much higher amongst women? Without ever questioning, is the man truly the problem, or is there something within my own mindset that needs to change? Nevertheless, this conversation gets a lot better. Let's go.
Got it. I mean, yes, we all want to have a partner that could stand the rain. I understand that. I was speaking in the sense that the words that I'm hearing, it's what she's supposed to be doing. And aren't you supposed to want to serve your husband? Those two words is what my response is based on. A partnership is something that I have been saying from the beginning. Two people in a working relationship that is healthy are supporting each other. Supporting is a key word, but this serving thing, No.
Purposeful misinterpretation of an easy to understand point. Women like this will prioritize their own status or their own ego in lieu of provisioning, protection, and security of a man or leadership of a man. These are the ones that scream from the mountaintops that we are still in a patriarchy because there's an expectation of serving a man without realizing that the serving is definitely a two-party street.
Okay.
So Mark, I know you've been paying attention and listening intently. What's your thoughts so far on what you've been hearing thus far? Respectfully,
Marcus, man, I don't know why you trying to involve me in this foolishness, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know what my thoughts are, man. It's malarkey, it's tomfoolery, it's buffoonery being on display. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Gentlemen at home, please pay attention, with the exception of Amira. And I'm not familiar with the other ladies, and I mean no disrespect. They could lay out when it was what is the husband duties. They had a list. When it came time to speak about what their duties are, they struggled to articulate.
No, we didn't struggle. It just wasn't our turn.
May I please land? No disrespect to you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Opportunity to speak.
No disrespect to you at all.
Let's let him finish his statement, y'all.
So there was a struggle to kind of articulate exactly what it was that a wife's duties were, because women don't really have a sense of duty. They don't understand duty. Like the young lady stated, women are more concerned with their personal happiness. And when when happiness is your concern, you abdicate all thoughts of duty. There is no duty when you're trying to be happy. When you get up every day and go to work, you don't want to go to work every single day, but you have a duty to pay those bills that you know are coming on the 1st and 15th. So therefore you get up when you don't even feel like it and you go in. Your happiness is not on that sliding scale, because what's ultimately it's delayed and deferred, because what's going to keep you happy is knowing you got a roof over your head and you know you have a vehicle to hop in that's going to start and get you from point A to point B. And when you open your refrigerator, you'll see groceries that you can consume that can give you sustenance. And that's been allowed throughout history. So at this point, you know, when we're talking about duty on the man's side and on the woman's side, men, we are from day one, we're told by our mothers, by society, by teachers in the school, we're molded and branded. If you don't do X, Y, Z, if you don't have this by this age, if you're not here by 30 or 40, you're of no value. But that has not been disseminated amongst the community of women. So it's very difficult for them to understand the duties, number one, if they've never been taught. Number two, if they don't have a belief system that reinforces those duties. And number three, if they're putting personal happiness and instant gratification at the top of their list.
Hey, listen, give a round of applause to the young brother right there to calmly and articulately not only stand on business, but make his presence and his point be known, even though he was about to be interrupted by this woman over here at the top. And also notice how he said it without being disrespectful, but addressed the point directly. And I can't help but agree with the young brother. Although she complains about this idea of serving a man under his context is serving his entire family with those duties. And I don't expect women to understand this, so it takes someone to articulate it in this manner. And to be honest, men shouldn't have an expectation that women should understand this, so they have to have this articulated to them, especially if there wasn't a man in a household to be that example for them. But he's damn right. Many of these women have these long lists and expectations from men, but rarely hold themselves to the same standards. They want their modern woman cake and they want to eat it too. They want to be seen as wifey material, yet aren't always willing to take on the responsibilities that traditionally come with that particular role. Much of these responsibilities that men still value today. Shouldn't have to serve my ass, shouldn't have to cook, shouldn't have to clean because it's oppression or whatever the hell that they say nowadays, rather than viewing it as a meaningful contribution to their household and their relationship. Women like this often try to act like they don't like being talked to like this, but look at this one over here biting her finger. Let's proceed.
I'm done.
All right, and that leads us probably directly into the next question.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah.
Sure.
So this is kind of like the issue that I have with these panels, right?
Okay.
A question was asked. Not everybody was able to go. One person said something that was aside from everybody's thoughts. And it's like everybody said it when everybody didn't even have an opportunity to go. You understand? Amir spoke you know, I think this young lady beside me, there were some things that you probably would agree that she was saying you should be the support, but one person when it gets the grain is all the women. And that's what I see a lot in these spaces. No, we didn't all agree with that. We didn't all have an opportunity to speak. Let's just, when we're having these conversations, just call, if you have a disagreement with any young lady, call that young lady out. It's not all of us. We all think very different. Her relationship is going to be different from mine. My relationship is going to be different from Aisha's. How we all think very different. We have our own way. We don't all think the same. Okay.
So
in that,
one second, Marcus, before you go, I need to clear something up, right?
Let me just
I'm
say
sorry.
this.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let her land. Go ahead.
In that particular situation, we didn't have an opportunity. She came in, she was one of the first women to speak. I didn't have an opportunity to speak on what I feel like a woman should bring to the table. I didn't. She came in, they asked her the question. I think Amira had an opportunity to speak. I know Aisha didn't have an opportunity to speak.
You got an opportunity now.
So I agree with Amira. I think a
Jesus.
woman should make a house a home. I think a woman should be a man's support system. I believe in it. Help me. You know, I think that one of the reasons why we are so behind as a people is we don't get married. We don't use each other the way we're supposed to be used. Men marry women who can help them get to their vision. That's how I think that men should lead by example. Women should follow their leadership. They should marry someone who they see the vision and they should help him get there. I think that inside the home, women are over to the children. We're nurturers. There are qualities that women have that men don't have and vice versa. There are things that men are good at. There are things that women are naturally good at. And I think that women should provide those things, right? I think Amira said it's respectful. You should be respectful to anybody, but of course your husband. Like that's just, it should be a given. So I think that
young ladies like this are often what I refer to as traditional chameleons, because they can say all of these different talking points and they speak on high, but then you look at their actions, you look at the behavior and how they address a man. Baby girl, you could have landed the plane about a minute and a half ago, but your want to be heard, or your want to tone police, or your want, right? Like those type of behaviors do not elicit that you are a peace bringer, because you will often let your mouth supersede his peace for the sake of being heard. Nevertheless, it's not the point of the video.
And I don't have a problem with the word submit. I don't. I mean, that can be,
you got a problem with the word
that's
peace,
just me
baby.
personally. And that's just how I feel. I think women should be there to help their husbands, be a support to their husbands in their household. And their, like I said, a woman, the man is the house, woman take care of the home, if that makes any sense.
And these women often will book dating consultations because although they think they have the mindset correct, there's certain things that men recognize that is a man ick, such as talking too goddamn much. Let's proceed.
So if I may just say this to clarify some things, right? I never once said that the lady in the bottom left, that her thoughts and sentiments applied to all the women. I never once said that that was the general consensus of all the ladies on the panel. What I said was that the ladies struggled at first to articulate what their duties were as a wife. Whereas when you were asked what the men's duties were, y'all rambled it off like this and I did that to just present the idea and the fact that in society, y'all are told about what we're supposed to be doing, but y'all are rarely ever told what y'all are supposed to be doing. And that was the reason why I brought that point up. But I never accused y'all of having the same thoughts and sentiments as the young lady who I spoke previously. I didn't do that.
My apologies. It's just when you said ladies, I assumed you were talking about all the ladies. But
my fault. I'll be more clear.
Can I say something real quick? Because if that's the case, you made a comment, sir, and you said something about, I want you to see this buffoonery. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I
was referring to directly what you had stated, directly to what you said.
I appreciate that, but I'm respecting you, so I expect to be respected as well.
I was only commenting on your comments, not on you as a person, just to make that clear.
This is my opinion, and I am not a buffoon, so learn how to use your words with tact while you're trying to tell the men to look at the people on this panel as an example. Start with yourself.
Look at the attitude.
Okay. Second of all, advocating for your personal happiness is a healthy choice of living for any person on the planet. So I'm not sure why we're trying to encourage women to not pursue their own happiness.
Because many women will break up their family. They will destroy their family for this pursuit of happiness, thus entering into the happiness paradox that I talked about earlier. That's why.
It's crazy.
I'll say this. Number one, I don't know if that was an attempt to check me, but it'll never work.
Shut up.
Houston, we have a problem.
No one's trying to check.
That'll never happen. Number two,
respect me.
I don't.
Look at
Andrea, let him-
So we're going to
Andrea,
pass
let him-
right over that.
No,
Number
respect
two,
me. Don't call me a
what was
buffoon.
said,
Respectful.
and I'm
We
addressing
can
this
both
to
do
the
that.
panel. What was said was buffoonery and
You know what? I
tomfoolery,
don't got time for
and I was speaking directly about the comments, and I stand firm on what I said about those comments.
Okay.
So one rule I have is I don't argue with women. There's only one woman I'll do a back and forth with, and that's my wife. And we'll be having a discussion if that happens. So all the ladies, you can lose your decorum and be disrespectful as you want. You're not going to get a rise out of me. Doesn't work.
This brother deserves yet another. I'm going to give him the big cheer this time. Shout out to this brother down on the bottom. Guys, I'm going to leave a link to this conversation as well. It comes from the Lapeef Network. Make sure you guys go over there and check out the content. Nevertheless, this is exactly what makes these kind of conversations so difficult, because a lot of the time it's not what it is that you're saying, but it's like a tone policing, right? It's a words policing, right? She took the conversation, right? They're all just having a conversation to say that there is tomfoolery, buffoonery, but then she took that as disrespect towards her, like personal disrespect as a person, utilizing her feelings as a way to deflect from the total conversation. When in reality, she felt the pressure from not only the men saying something about the ridiculous things that she was saying, but then also the women appearing, even looking at their body language, that they don't agree with her behavior or the things that she was saying. And for all ladies that listen to content like this, you must understand that a man is not going to prioritize your feelings in a conversation, because we're trying to get results at the end of the day. You come to us after a hard day of work and you're talking about a problem or a situation that happened, and we get in a solution mode. Talk to your girlfriends in conversation mode, because you're not looking for a solution. But if you're talking to a man, we're going to directly address it in solution focus with as least time delay as possible. And oftentimes the things that we're saying, you may not want to hear, because it's not in a context of coddling your feelings, making you feel good for where you have erred potentially within the situation. But we're going to speak from, how do we fix this the quickest way possible? And I think mentioning that is important if we're in this context of duty within a marriage, within a relationship between men and our women, because men have had a duty since the beginning of modern times to understand how women communicate with each other. And often you see these grown-ass men acquiescing to a woman's form of communication because it's been normalized. But women do not acquiesce to a man's form of communication. And we're not telling y'all to. Just don't call it toxic masculinity when a man stands on conversational business, because that's how we do it when there's other men present. But the real lesson here is about growth, whether it's in the context of relationships or in life. Growth will never come from you avoiding honest conversations or accountability. It comes from both sides being able to listen without defensiveness, without rage quitting or finding a reason to rage quit. All right, guys, now it's your turn. Go down in the comment box, and I want to hear what you guys think about this particular conversation. Light the comment box up, and who knows, I may go live so we can have a live stream conversation in regards to this topic right here. Guys, last but not least, you're my men's self-development community. We are going up and up and up back there. If you are a man who is focused on building your purpose, finding your purpose, identifying your purpose, if you're a man that's focused on building wealth, becoming a millionaire in the future, if you're a guy who's focused on your health as well as your wellness, this is absolutely the brotherhood and the community for you. Guys, drop down below, click on that link, beam up, see the dope things that are in store, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Until next time, YouTube, peace.
You is ratchet as they come, rainbow weaves and batwing lashes, weighing more than a man. What time is your football practice? I bet you can hit that A gift like a mug. How you big back it? Said a man must buy you gifts. Where here goes a Fitbit tracker. Are you mad? Cause you got 3 kids by 4 different dads. You pick cookies, then you bash. Oh man, when you get sad.